Ho ho buddies, welcome to Borderline. Yeah. Did you hear what I said? I said ho ho buddies, welcome to Borderline Games. I'm Gareth and today we're playing Beacon Pines. Last time we got to another dead end. We got to another dead end. And we found Tolliver, is that his name? It seems like there's a conspiracy. There's a couple of conspiracies going around the town. And it seems like Luca's grandmother is leading this whole kind of rebellion against the factory, maybe? I don't really know what's going on. If I'm going to be honest with you, I have no idea what's going on. But it looks like we have no choice but to hit up this one here and do rumble instead of break, so it looks like the weather's going to rumble. Let's do this one. Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to rumble.
Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to rumble with ominous thunder.
Spooky. Are you sure we can make it home before this storm kicks off?
Luca surveyed the roiling clouds.
What does this mean then? So are they going to get home and see their gran doing something? Or not? I'd say the odds are good. Maybe you should stay here and I'll make a break for it.
At that moment, the heavens opened up, unleashing torrential rain.
Care to recalculate those odds? Hurry inside, you two, before you catch cold. Ah, so we're going to miss our gran. So what does that mean? Luca, Nellie will keep trying to reach your gran on the phone. In the meantime, you two hold tight. Sorry, not much to do up here. Most of my stuff is still in the boxes. Mind if I poke around? That's a bit rude. Be my guest. But she's into it, that's fine. Let's have a look.
Luca squinted into the eye hole of the microscope.
This looks wild. What is it? Gum. Gum?
Luca adjusted the slide with his fingers to get a better look.
I'm tracking the structural integrity of gum with increasing amounts of chewing. Chewed that one for 47 days. A good project.
Luca wiped his hand.
Nice little side project. You gotta have a hobby, haven't you? It's weird, I know.
Beck looked down, timidly tapping the ladder with her feet.
Aw, it's not weird. You think it's weird, don't you? A little. He's too honest. But weird can be cool. Alright, what else? What else we got? Radio. Oh, wow. Rolo and I have a radio just like this at the treehouse. And probably not exactly like this one. My mum and I tore the whole thing down to the bolts. Fitted it with some state-of-the-art vacuum tubes. She seems pretty awesome. She gets carried away sometimes. I think she feels guilty for working too much. So when she does have time for me, she showers me with high-tech overcompensation.
Luca flicked at one of the toggles.
I bet you can get all sorts of stations on this. Not out here in the boonies. You won't believe the stuff I could pick up back in the city. But around here it's all farm reports and static. Well, we're going to get something surely come through now. Ah, shucks. Flowers.
Luca bent down to examine the bouquet of wilting flowers.
Oh, what are these flowers for?
Judging by the odor, they were well past their prime.
Pungent. Okay, cool, we got another charm.
He flipped open the attached card.
We've run out of charms, we've only got one. So it's good that we're getting something from this. Happy trails from Coach Walker and all the Fairview Condors. Boy, you weren't kidding about poking around, huh? Oh, sorry, was this from your old school? The most recent one, yeah. Some schools gave me going away cards. Some did flowers. When they're really trying to feel good about themselves, they do both. So you've moved a lot. Yeah, that's the thing with having a brilliant parent. There's always a better job somewhere else. Are we done? These flowers would last longer if you put them in some water. That's the sort of thing I'd do if I cared. Well, you cared enough to keep them, is all. Luca, can I ask you something? Of course. Ow! Dang, didn't that hurt? I'll be honest. That hurt more than I expected. Well, at least you look cool doing it.
Beck took a moment to watch the river.
Beck did look really cool when she did that. Do you ever feel alone? Like, even when people are around? Oh, we've got some depression talk happening. I wondered how long it would take to get to this depression talk segment of the game. Not that long, apparently. Well, Roller can be pretty absent-minded sometimes. I'm serious. Does it ever feel like your family doesn't care what you want? It didn't used to feel that way. I know Gran loves me, but sometimes when she looks at me, it's like she's looking at a problem.
Luca took a deep breath, exhaling slowly.
I know the feeling. How do you deal with that? I guess I haven't yet. The one thing my dad told me when I was little. Don't hold a grudge, especially against yourself. If you try to hold it all in, you're gonna pop. So then, what do you do? When you don't know what to do? Dad never got to that part. Something I've figured out on my own, though. You gotta do something. Anything. Here. What are you doing? I don't know. Something. We're gonna register our complaints with the storm. Listen here, you miserable universe. Stop jerking me around. I just want things to go back to the way they were. Everyone tells me it's going to be alright. That things are going to change.
Luca let out a feral scream that echoed into the night.
A long time coming.
Every time something changes, everything gets worse! Screw this town!
Whoa. Let me try.
Moving sucks! I hate it! I hate that I hate it! Why can't I just deal with it and be happy for my mom? Why can't we just stay somewhere? Ah!
Her voice dropped to a trembling whisper.
It's cathartic, isn't it? I just want to be a normal kid.
Beck brushed off her shirt and straightened up.
There. Wow, I actually feel a little better.
As abruptly as it began, the storm abated.
Thanks. I needed that. Me too. I should head out before the rain starts up again. Sure. I'll walk you out. See you and Rolo at the festival. Sounds good. Luca. Don't let the universe jerk you around.
Beck gave Luca a light thump on the arm before heading in. Chapter 5. Friendly Feud.
So does this mean we're going to see our Gran and not realise that she's bad? And then something bad will happen because of that?
The air was heavy with the hard rain's residue. The smell of wet things. Despite his dreary surroundings, Luca felt at peace. He'd never shared those details about his dad with anyone. Not even Rollo. But it's not like this changed anything. Rollo was still his best friend. Adding Beck to the group would help balance things out. Everything's better in threes.
Famous last words.
This is what Luca told himself as he headed to the treehouse.
Something bad gonna happen. Catch up with Rolo at the treehouse. Let's go. Oh, hello. Hey, Dawn. Tracking down a lead.
You bet. I heard a juicy new rumor. Turns out when Sharper Valentine died, he left behind a peculiar last will and testament.
Peculiar how?
He didn't just give his kids his inheritance. There were conditions.
Like what?
Documents stipulated the heiress had to take on a child as her ward. A kid our age, who just showed up to town one night with a lawyer.
Ooh, who's that? Is that Beck? Oh no, Solomon. 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 Which one's Solomon?
Bingo!
Is Solomon the one that was turned into a monster a couple of episodes ago? So Eris was forced to take care of him.
Yep, or she would have lost everything.
Why would Sharper care so much for about some random kid?
Rumor has it old Sharper sowed some wild oats.
That explains the way Eris treats him. Oh, hello, Inepatini. How are you liking the game? Have you played it recently? On stream? Oh, you did? Cool. I'm enjoying it. It's fun. It's Animal Crossing Mysteries, isn't it? That explains the way Eris treats him. Poor Solomon. How did you find all this out? Maybe you can tell me, Inepatini. Solomon, is that the one that turned into a monster from the green group in one of the paths, if you remember? How did you find all this out?
A good report never reveals her source, Luca.
Alright. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Right, to the treehouse. Oops, I'm getting stuck. Excuse me, what are you doing?
They're just locking up for the night, sir.
Oh, wonderful. I can only assume this means all festival preparations have been completed ahead of schedule.
Not exactly, sir. The storm set us back a bit, and it's getting late, so we all decided to...
You all decided?
Yes, sir.
I wasn't aware that your job involved deciding things. We're all here at Perennial Harvest because we believe in creating a better future, yes?
Yes, sir, very much, sir.
Do you want to be the one to tell this town that we failed them?
No.
That we gave up because there was a little rainstorm and we all got sleepy?
Of course not, sir.
Good. Then it's decided.
Yes, sir. We'll work till the task is done.
See that you do.
Our harvest awaits.
Well, he's a cool guy. Making them work overtime. I wish I had a boss like that. Okay, to the treehouse.
Volo, you still up there? I'm sorry, Volo isn't accepting visitors at the moment. Come back never.
Luca had only ever heard him speak in this stiff yet gentle tone a few times,
He's pissed with us.
and it always meant one thing.
You're upset.
Oh, what makes you say that? Maybe because my best friend abandoned me for no reason.
I didn't abandon you. I'm just a little late.
Rolo scoffed.
The rain held me up.
Liar. You weren't even home.
What?
The storm got bad and I got worried. So I went looking for you. Imagine my surprise when I made it to your house. And you weren't there.
I hadn't made it back yet.
I'm not a fool, Luca. It doesn't take all day to deliver some jam.
No, That storm rolled in out of nowhere. And I got stuck after dinner at Beck's house.
Luca stumbled on his words, knowing he'd said too much.
Uh-oh. How dare you have other friends? You're mine, all mine. No one else can have you. Beck! Dinner! What the heck is a Beck?
She's a new kid in town. She's actually kinda cool. You'd like her. She needed help convincing her parents that she'd made new friends.
New friends? Who dis? I spent all day waiting for you. And you were off making new friends.
It's not like that, Rolo.
You know, while I was waiting, I made some upgrades to mission control. It was gonna be a surprise. But you took so long, the storm knocked it all down. Just like you knocked down our friendship.
What does that even mean?
Luca became instinctively angry in response.
He's not being fair in this moment.
Both boys were now shouting across the distance.
Oh no, more shouting. It means you're a bad friend. You don't care about me.
Of course I care, you ass!
I knew I'd get in trouble waiting so late for you. But I kept my word. Because that's what friends do.
Oh wow, what a noble sacrifice you made.
Easy for you to say. Your gran doesn't even care. You can stay out as long as you want. And you wouldn't even get in trouble.
Seriously? You're acting like I chose this. If that's what you think, then maybe you're the bad friend.
Rolo's tone changed to a calm, yet more intense anger.
Maybe Pa is right. Storms bring more than water. This one brought out the real Luca.
Stop quoting your pa's nonsense like it means anything.
Yeah. Well, at least my Pa is still around.
The words hung in
Wow.
the cool night air.
Wow.
Rolo's
Rolo.
throat dropped, knowing he'd crossed a line. But it was too late.
Luca,
Good night, Rolo.
Dang it. God dang it. Well, we did that at least. Makes things easier. We just get into bed. Do we get into bed? What are we doing? We go back out? If Rolo thinks I'm still going to the festival with him, he can shove it. What do I do? Oh,
Luca dug through his old stuff, not even sure what he was looking for.
football.
Rolo. What a jerk. Call me a bad friend. Oh, I'm Rolo. Look at me and my amazing family. Ooh. I guess I'm just never supposed to make new friends.
Oh, the saddest charm to get of all.
Luca,
Gran cooed gently from the hallway.
you slept straight through breakfast. Luca, are you alright? I'm fine. Just don't feel like getting up yet. Okay, I'll leave this oatmeal by the door. I've got to run out and take care of some things. Okay. I'll be back later to check in. Sure.
Luca just wanted to be alone. He waited to hear the sound of the front door closing.
There we go. This is a good kick.
I bet Rolo's still gonna go to the festival. He's gonna be miserable.
Okay. Let's just keep on kicking this. Oh. Back in bed?
Dozed off again.
Oh, okay.
Luca,
Oh, thank you, Ina Patini, for the follow. That's so nice of you. Thank you so much. You're so cool.
Luca, I see you didn't eat your oatmeal.
Wasn't hungry.
Well, just in case you get hungry, I'll leave a sandwich here too.
Thanks.
Rolo came by.
What did he say?
He wanted to talk to you.
And what did you say?
I told him you weren't feeling well.
Good.
So you're planning to just sit in your room all day?
Pretty much.
Well, I need to pop away again for a minute. If you decide to end your pity party and go outside, I think it'd do you some good.
Noted.
Lucas still couldn't bring himself to go out. Besides, if he ran into Rolo, he'd have to actually confront the situation.
And who wants to do that? So we're going to stay in the room again, are we?
Give it a kick. There's never anything interesting at the festival anyway.
Why does that say football? I gotta kick it up there.
Get it.
Yes, we did it. What is this?
The Adventures of Hank Atomic.
Is this something to do with Rolo?
The complete first volume.
Luca carefully opened the cover and began to read. Rolo had received it for his birthday,
Oh, it's Rolo's?
a special hardcover edition with behind-the-scenes commentary and bonus art.
Oh, that's sweet.
Rolo cherished it, but asked that Luca keep it at his house. Luca wasn't sure if it was because Rolo didn't trust himself with it, didn't trust his sister around it, or just wanted an excuse to come hang out at Luca's more often. Whatever the reason, Luca didn't mind. But it had stayed right there where Rolo had stashed it ever since. Now, at the foot of his bed, Luca lost himself in the pages. He'd read it all before, but at this moment, it somehow felt sentimental. He was well into issue number 5 when he heard soft footsteps from the hallway.
Ooh, who is it? Gran again?
Luca? Another little friend came to see you. A girl named Beck Modeville. She said you met yesterday.
What did she say?
Is she here? She was just dropping by. I told her you weren't taking visitors today.
Oh.
She seems nice.
Yeah. You had a fight with Rolo, didn't you?
Can I come in?
Maybe later.
Alright then. I'll leave dinner on the kitchen table. In case you want a bite before bedtime.
Without realizing it, Luca had pouted away the entire afternoon. He once again felt the weight of it all and allowed his weary eyes to close. Luca stood in a vast black expanse. He looked up at his father standing beside him. Walt was working a straw at the bottom of a fountain glass, trying to collect the last bits of milkshake. Dad, where are we? Taking a final loud gurgling sip, his father peered up from the glass. He jangled the straw playfully with a warm smile, then lifted the empty glass as if to point into the darkness. The source? Luca's eyes followed his father's gesture. In an instant, he was sitting in front of a blazing campfire. Across from him sat a large figure in a yellow hazmat suit. The figure's voice was a scratchy echo. Well, if it isn't the man of the hour, make yourself comfortable. Luca held his shivering hands over the flame to warm himself.
Now we've seen a person in a hazmat suit being Luca's Gran. Obviously in this timeline he's not aware of that, so we wouldn't expect him to know that in this moment in his dream.
It doesn't work that way here. Their yellow-gloved hand pointed to the base of the flame. It's a cold flame. See? Luca peered at the base of the fire. It wasn't wood that was burning. It was Beacon Pines itself.
Oh.
Tiny buildings, freezing and crumbling as they were consumed by flame. Luca could see small shadows moving in the burning city. People. Luca leapt to his feet. We've got to help them! The figure gave a dismissive wave of their hand. Why waste energy helping people who can't even help themselves? The figure bent down to examine the panicked crowd as they desperately tried to stop the flames. They only care about what's right in front of them. Not like us. Luca's voice was a trembling whisper. Us? The figure slowly stood up, grabbing its helmet with both hands. With a jolt and a twist, the suit emitted a gasp. A cloud of torpid mist escaped, slowly revealing the face within. Luca's own face looked back at him.
I thought it was going to be his gran in his dream, and he was like subconsciously picked up on the fact that that was his gran.
Older, worn, distant. The sensation was oddly familiar, as if he'd caught his own reflection by surprise in the mirror. The doppelganger smiled. I tried to help once. He gestured towards his face, and all it got me was this. Lucas staggered back. You aren't me. Luca felt a hand catch his shoulder. His father was there again, beside him. Every choice sets us on a path. This is the end of one of your paths, son. Luca watched his older self shake its head ruefully, its face twisting into a cruel grin. Welp, Dad, if you wanted him to see this, far be it from me to disappoint. Luca watched in shock as the figure took a confident step forward and plunged into the flames in a flash of cold light. He was gone. What does all of this mean? Luca felt a reassuring squeeze.
It's okay, it's just a dream, doesn't mean anything.
Just remember, why we choose matters just as much as what we choose. Luca woke up to see a hazy figure at the foot of his bed, silhouetted in the morning sun.
Is it going to be Rolo? Oh.
Mum? No, dear. It's only Gran.
Luca rubbed his eyes. The kind, concerned face of his gran came into focus.
How are you feeling? Fine. Anything you want to talk about? I don't feel like talking. That's just as well. How about you sit there and listen a bit? Whatever you and Rolo fought about doesn't matter. But he...
Gran silenced Luca with a gentle pat on the leg.
Fights between friends happen. What was said doesn't matter. The important thing is that it's not the last thing you ever say to each other. But he said stuff about Dad. Well, do you think he meant it? No. He was just mad. And did you mean any of the things you said to him? No. Good. One must appreciate friends in their best moments, and accept them in their worst. Acceptance.
What a nice compromise between our weeping badge. Or I mean compromise? You know, the yin and yang to our weeping badge.
Now, get your little butt out of bed. The festival's today. You don't want to miss that, do you? I guess not. Seems like a good opportunity to make amends with Rolo, doesn't it?
Luca gave a reluctant nod.
So, buy him a corn dog and apologize. But he's the one that... What did I just say? Buy him a corn dog. That's a good boy. Everything's better with corn dogs. I need to get going now. Got some last-minute festival business to take care of. We've got a heist to enact. What was that? Nothing? I'll come find you at the fountain a little after lunch. Alright. I love you, Luca. I love you too.
Luca took a deep breath.
Okay. Up we go.
Chapter 6. Through thick and thin. Despite Luca's bitterness, Gran was right. He needed to hash things out with Rolo. A big fight changes the nature of a friendship. Whether, in the end, it is for the better or for the worse, all comes down to understanding.
Cool, and we're going to get back to understanding next time on Borderline Games. Thank you so much for watching this episode of... what's it called? Beacon Pines. It's called Beacon Pines. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Beacon Pines. I will see you next time. Have a great evening. Take care of yourselves. Look after yourselves. Have a good day. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye.